It's time for a big update from the DJ software world, because AlphaTheta, the makers of some of the most popular DJ gear that you know and love, this is of course the xdj-az here. They also make little controllers that a lot of our students use, for instance, such as the little Flex 4 here, but also they make pro DJ gear such as the CDJ-3000X, which has just been released and which we've done all our reviews and so on for here at the Digital DJ Tips DJ School. AlphaTheta has just launched something that they call OneLibrary. And OneLibrary sounds on the face of it like it's going to be hugely exciting for DJs. Because imagine what an office worker's life was like, and you might be old enough to remember this 25 years ago, when you used Microsoft Word and you saved your file and you went to use it on Microsoft Word on maybe a Mac when you started on Windows and it didn't work properly. And then you tried it on OpenOffice and it didn't work there either, or LibreOffice, and there was no way of using a different word processor with the same file. Fast forward to today, we've got Google Drive and stuff like that. Can you imagine if you couldn't open just a docx file on Google Drive? That's what the DJ software market is like today, now. If you want to use Serato's library in Rekordbox, or Traktor's library in Algorithms DJ, or any of them on Engine DJ, you can, if you use convoluted third-party tools or long-winded import tools that the manufacturers sometimes try and add. But look, it is a monumental pain where the sun don't shine. And I'm sure if you've ever tried to do this, you will agree with me. So the idea of OneLibrary, which is exactly what AlphaTheta, the makers of this DJ gear, the biggest by far DJ gear manufacturer in the world, has just announced literally this morning. The idea of that is getting us very excited, and excited it should get us. So over on Digital DJ Tips, we have published a couple of pieces today. The first piece, and you can go and find them at digitaldjtips.com. The first piece was this one. DJ Pro and Traktor users, I'll explain what all this means in a minute, can now read and write Rekordbox USBs with OneLibrary. We've tried to kind of already get it down to what it really is, because it's not exactly OneLibrary yet. We'll talk a lot about this in a second. So that article is there. I thoroughly recommend going and having a look at that. Also, and this is a must, you should go and look at Mojax's video, OneLibrary will change the DJ tech industry for good. Says Mojax in a typically understated headline there. I'm not sure he's right immediately, but look, he's got a point there. He has pointed out exactly what this is, talked it through very clearly. So if you're not sure after this video what we're talking about here, go watch Mojax's video. In fact, go and watch it anyway. It's very good. And he gets excited. And it's always nice to see Mojax excited. So do go take a look at that. It's on the DJ City TV channel. But also we've published this, which is what I'm going to talk through with you today. It's 5 things that you really need to know about this new leap forward in DJ library compatibility. And also 3 things that we are going to plead with AlphaTheta to get right, because we want this to work. We really do. We're excited too. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. We're going to start off by talking through the 5 things that I think you really need to know, answering questions like, should I try this out? What exactly is it? What are the shortcomings of it, and so on. And I'm also going to share those 3 things that we'd love the industry and AlphaTheta especially to take on board. Theta, I don't know. And then finally, and most importantly at the end, I want your views on this. Is it exciting? Is it something you can't wait to use? Is it something you've got reservations about? I'd like to know, because we are live. As always, we're a DJ school. We spend most of our time teaching DJs, but when we're not teaching DJs, we tend to throw open our studios, as I'm doing now, and do a live show so that everyone can get involved. And so I'd love to hear you. I've got lots of comments coming in already on the chat, so hello to everyone who's there. But I do want to dive straight in before we spend too much time in the live chat with what we've got for you today, because we've got quite a lot for you. Right, okay, so let's start talking through these 5 things you really need to know about AlphaTheta's new OneLibrary software. Again, you can find this article over on the website. We will make the article look prettier with pictures and links and so on, but we've just been working hard on getting the information in it for now. So it's quite textual. So you've got me to help you. This is a bit I want to draw your attention to. because AlphaTheta have been really clear about what this means to them. We're working with other brands to create a world where you can use your music libraries, your creative assets freely on any type of media or device. File-based music, cloud, streaming, USB, PC, mobile, etc., and hardware, regardless of the DJ software you use. Now that sounds exciting, doesn't it? That sounds like you can use your Office files on all software, but actually something that gets you excited, right? So look, they've obviously decided that this is where it's going as far as they're concerned, and they want to make this work. So in that spirit, especially towards the end of this piece, when I plead that they listen to some of the things I've got to say, in that spirit, we're going to present now some things that I think you really need to know, because this is not all unicorns and rainbows. It really isn't, trust me. Right, so let's start off then by talking through those 5 things. So the first thing is they've called it OneLibrary, but it's not really a library. Because if you think of OneLibrary for your DJ software, you probably think, hey, great, I can open Tractor and I can put cue points and loops and beat grids onto a piece of my, a playlist I've got in my library. Then I can go and open Algorithms DJ and fix the difficult beat grids, because that's quite good at beat grids. Then I could go and open Recordbox and start tagging it, because I like the way Recordbox tags, and it's all in one library. How awesome would that be? It absolutely is not that. It is not a library at all in that sense. Think of it more like an export and import tool for your library or playlists. So this is not going to be anything new to you if you use standalone gear, such as, for instance, I just pointed to it, the xdj-az, or you're a club DJ and you're often using this kind of gear, the 3000s, this is the 3000X. You know, you have to export from Recordbox to a USB drive to plug into these things to work, right? So at the very simplest, what this is adding to Algorithms DJ and to Tractor, and that's it for now. Tractor's not even ready yet. Adding to those pieces of software for now. Remember what AlphaTheta said, every piece of hardware, every piece of software, every phone, every streaming service, everything. Currently it's just DJ, and Tractor's coming. To be able to export from those onto a USB, plug into the AlphaTheta manufactured Pro Gear and DJ, right? That's what it is right now. So it is not it's not a library at all. It's an export tool. Now it's also an import tool. So they're saying you can plug it into, so let's say you export from Recordbox onto a USB, you could plug it into another laptop or the same one running Tractor and import it into Tractor. So look, this is kind of where it's at now. Think of it more as a way of putting onto a USB drive a library which can then be read by other software, right? Or played on standalone gear. That's where we're at right now. So it's not really a library at all in that sense, not today. It's not actually new. It's just a rebrand, as I've just pointed out, of what you can already do in Recordbox. So actually, the makers of Virtual DJ, and it's called Device Library Plus, right? So you Recordbox users will have heard all about this because there's been issues with older gear and so on. It's called Device Library Plus. Well, not anymore. Now it's called OneLibrary. Same thing, same technology, essentially exactly the same. Virtual DJ actually hacked this a long time ago, like years ago. You've been able to export from Virtual DJ, which is laptop software, just like Serato, just like Recordbox, just like Tractor, just like Algorithms DJ. You've been able to click a button in Virtual DJ, export to a USB drive, plug it into AlphaTheta gear, such as the stuff I've got around me now, and DJ from it without Virtual DJ, without the laptop, right? You've been able to do that for years. They hacked it, they figured it out. So it's not actually new. What AlphaTheta is doing is saying, okay, we're going to open this up to everyone. We're going to help other people implement this in their software as well. So they can play on our hardware with our USB drive, with USB drives that our hardware understands. We're going to help other people do it. So it's going to be easier for other people to do this. That is actually what's happening here. So they're kind of opening up this format. It's not actually something that's new, right? So it might have been launched today, but it's not something that they invented today. But here's another thing. It's definitely not one in the sense of all of us, right? You know, the Bob Marley sense, one love, one life, let's get together. Well, they haven't got everyone together. I've already pointed it out. It's DJ, Algorithms DJ. They're very, very good software programmers. They know their stuff, right? So they're on board. It's Tractor By the way, Traktor, nice one. Traktor's alive. Not only have they launched new hardware recently, but they've also teamed up with AlphaTheta to make this work. So good on you. So Traktor lovers, there's still life in the old dog yet, but Traktor's not even there yet. Hopefully coming soon. We reckon the beginning of November. But what about Serato? What about Engine DJ, which by the way is a rival standalone system? Because without Serato on board and Engine DJ on board, and without Virtual DJ brought in from the cold and given a big hug and said, come on, you know, you paved the way, you're officially with us now. Without those people on board, it's not one at all. It's fragmented, right? And for this to work, it has to be all or nothing. It has to be everyone. So look, there's something that has to be crossed there. There's a lot of distance to go before that almost mission statement that I read you from the homepage of this software actually happens. This industry collaboration bit, and we're looking here at the OneLibrary website. This is on the web right now. This is how they've presented it, right? Limitless DJing for all. Remember what I said. We're working with other brands to create a world where you can use your music libraries freely on any type of media or device, any hardware, regardless of the DJ software you use. We're not there yet, right? It's not one in that sense quite yet, but that's fine. It's just the start, right? This is what they've admitted. It's just the start, but it currently isn't everyone. I want you to bear with me now because I'm going to get slightly geeky and I'm going to keep it as ungeeky as I can, but this is important and I'm going to introduce it in a non-geeky way, in a very DJ way that you will understand. No less than our tutor, DJ-Jazzy Jeff, recounted a story to me recently where he was about 10 minutes before playing a gig and he set his gear up and opened everything up, got ready to play and realized in the sound check, he literally described it as, I'd lost it. I'd lost the ability to DJ. Everything sounded a mess. It's like the timing had finally left me after all these years. Everything just sounded messy. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. There was nothing different. It turned out that he noticed all of his beat grids and his cues and his loops were just slightly off the beat. And he's like, what the? He's looking on all his music. Some of them were all right, some of them were worse than others, but a large chunk of his library, suddenly everything was off the beat. He's like, what's happened? Now, what he tried to do was move some music from one DJ platform to another using one of the popular conversion tools out there. Now, I happen to know that someone in this industry, Mixmaster G, who makes conversion tools that do that kind of thing only for Mac, had literally spoken about this, and I knew that this was a thing. And I put the two of them together, they figured it out. Mixmaster G helped Jeff fix his collection, Jeff got his mojo back. So happy ending. What had happened is very geeky, but I think it's going to affect this OneLibrary unless I'm wrong, which I hope I am, but I think it is. I haven't seen any mention of this anywhere to convince me that it's not going to happen. So this is what had happened to Jeff. When you get an MP3 file, it didn't start off as an MP3 file. It started off as a huge uncompressed WAV file from the studio. Most DJs will get a good quality MP3. That's how they buy their music. It's how they share their music. It's how they spin their music. And that's what Jeff does a lot of the time. Jeff's MP3s had this issue when they converted from one DJ platform to another. And this is why it happens. When you turn that huge original file from the studio into a more manageable MP3 file, you have to encode it using an encoder. And there's lots of those encoders out there. Now, DJ software will unencode it, decode it, using a particular decoder that they've built into their software. But they all use different decoders. So if you're using a conversion utility to move from, say, Traktor to DJ to Record Box, then you're taking something that's been encoded in one way, and there's loads of ways of encoding MP3s, by the way, loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, that has then been decoded in a different way, then encoded again in another way as the DJ conversion utilities are moving the stuff around. And every time that happens, you can get a 20 to 30 millisecond shift in the grids, in the cues, in the loops, and in everything. And the worst bit is they can compound. So you've got 20, now you've got 40, now you've got 60 as you're moving files and stuff around. That is the most layman way I can put it, but it's a real thing. And it is something that Mixmaster G, a friend of us here, has spent weeks, if not months, helping DJs with and finding ways to get around. He's literally compiled a database of all the ways you can encode MP3s and ways of figuring out which MP3 has been encoded with which encoder so that his software can kind of fix it for people. And he fixed it for Jeff. I don't think that OneLibrary has fully considered that this might be an issue with this particular implementation yet, because it is an issue elsewhere and has been an issue for DJs for a long time when they're trying to do this stuff. And I'm worried about that. I think that this encoder drift might have let a big genie out of the bottle. I hope I'm wrong, I really do. But I do think that this may have a crucial flaw in it at this early 1.0 stage. But look, don't let me be a harbinger of doom, because in the piece I also write, yes, this could still be great news. We've wanted this for a long time. And if we're going to get hard-nosed about it, and you're cynically saying, well, why on earth would AlphaTheta do this? Oh, I know why they're doing this. It's because they just want to get everyone playing on their gear. Well, maybe they do. But is that such a bad thing? Because here is a reality check. Most people are playing on their gear anyway, like 70-odd%. We know that. So if everyone's using their gear anyway, why not make it easier to use their gear with all the different software platforms? They're box shifters. AlphaTheta are very good at making boxes containing DJ gear that works really well and that people tend to love. That is the truth of the matter. They're not very good with software, and that again is the truth of the matter, in my opinion. I think their software is clunky. I think they handle it badly. They communicate badly. I think it's not very good value sometimes. I think some of their practices are questionable when it comes to software and subscriptions and so on. And I'm not just saying that because I want to or want to create havoc. I hear our students complaining about these things. I hear our students scratching their heads and saying in any other industry and that kind of thing. I just don't think software is their strong suite. That's me talking. And so I think it makes sense for them. Let's open up the ability for everyone's software to work on our gear. We'll make great gear. You make great software. Let's get back to the unicorns and rainbows. Look, so that it could be a hard-nosed business decision, but it could be good for everyone. And I think this could be great news. This could be the start of something that is genuinely good. And I genuinely believe the people at the top of AlphaTheta want this. They want this to be a real thing for the whole DJ industry. I genuinely believe they will try their hardest to get everyone on board and that it could be a very, very good thing. You know, no company's perfect at everything. God knows we're not. And I'm just explaining how I think it is. So look, this could be great news on a business sense, could be great news for DJs. But it's a long road. And I think there's a few things that they need to take on board and that the DJ industry needs to take on board to make this finally happen. So here they are. The first thing is, and it's an obvious one, I think that they need to go further. You can read all of this on the article on Digital DJ Tips. Let's move from one import-export to one true library. I don't see any reason why we can't get a lot closer to what I described earlier, where it doesn't matter what DJ software you're using, maybe with just one click, you can take everything from that one and dump it in another one. This could be built into your DJ software. You shouldn't need to use external utilities to do that. And so if we could get to that stage and if AlphaTheta could facilitate that, I think that'd be great. Now their Rekordbox XML format is as good a place to start as any. It's a very good format. It's open. It's easy for everyone to understand. It already exists. So why not help people to build that as an import-export tool into software and then have that alongside what we've already discussed and what they've already launched today? I think that'd be excellent. How cool would that be? You know, it's just like when you're in your word processor, instead of clicking save, you click export as, and then you say export as whatever you want it to go to. I think that'd be wonderful. So why not? Let's get this to be a true OneLibrary. The second thing I implore them to do is engage the experts. And I want experts to engage with AlphaTheta as well here. There are an awful lot of very, very talented people in this industry who are coders and geeks and thinkers and who spend an awful lot of time helping DJs to get to the point where they're happy with their collections and they can do what they really want to do, which is play that music in front of other people. Engage with them. I know people who can help fix this encoder drift thing, and there are people who can help fix all kinds of stuff. Virtual DJ already hacked this years ago. Get them on board. Get everyone involved, because only by getting everyone involved you're really going to get to one library, which is what this thing is called after all. But the third thing, and this is, I think, the more I think about this, the more I think this could be crucial, is certify the implementations. So if you look at the FAQs on that page I was talking to you about earlier, this page here, if you look at the FAQs on this page, they actually say we cannot guarantee, I'll find it for you. Here it is. Full compatibility between different software applications isn't guaranteed. That's exactly what DJs do not want to hear. Can you imagine plugging your USB drive into professional DJ gear with those words ringing in the back of your head? No one's guaranteeing this is going to work. Guarantee it. Certify it. Let's have a sticker on that piece of software, on that gear, on that USB drive saying certified to work. Let's get a committee, let's get the industry together. Let's say, look, we will tick off your implementation, Tractor, Serato, Recordbox, DJ, Virtual DJ, Engine DJ. Once it's working brilliantly and we can guarantee it, we will tick it off and say certified to work. Because if you can do that, if you can do those three things, then you've got a situation where DJs will trust it. And that's what we want. We want it to be trustworthy and to just work. So I think that is absolutely crucial. They should jump through hoops to certify and not have language like we can't guarantee this and can't guarantee that, because I can tell you one thing. When you're stood in front of gear that's made by AlphaTheta, Pioneer DJ, and you plug in a USB that's been exported to work with their format and it doesn't work, they are going to get the blame anyway. They're going to get the blame, not Tractor, who you exported it from, or Algorithms DJ, or any other software that implements this. They're going to get the blame anyway. So it's in their court. If they're going to launch this under their brand, it's in their court to make sure it works. So look, if we can do these things, if we can do everything I just outlined there, this could have a really, really bright future. I just hope that we can. I hope that some of this stuff happens. It is an exciting day, and I don't want to be a harbinger of doom or in any way critical of anyone who's trying their hardest to make life easier for DJs. Ultimately, no one's paying for this. We don't have to pay extra for this. It's just like, hey, here it is. Take it, use it, which is great. But there's a lot of stuff here that I think needs to be right before DJs actually start trusting it. Right, look, I really, really have ranted here, but we've spent the last day or two considering all this and talking to people. I've talked to people in the industry. I've talked to people who actually are really deep in the coding of all this stuff. And I try my hardest to understand it and to simplify it for you. So that's been the spirit in which I've done this. So what I want to do now is just spend a few minutes talking to you, because you've been commenting all the way through this diatribe from me. And so let's just do that now. Let's just spend a little bit of time now. It's at the end of our show chatting about this. Firstly, hello to all our regulars. Always lovely to have you here. To Kesha and to Paul and DJ Belter in the UK, to Duke Knobs in Colorado. Hello to the Ruckus and to Anil and to Chris and to Jonathan and Baynard, Java Man. Lovely to see so many of you here. And to Benny in Tampa, always good to have you with us, Benny. Right, okay, this is from Jason on Facebook. Jason says, it's always good to have ideas like this, but will it mean we need yet another subscription? No, definitely not. The idea of this is it gets built into the software that you already have. So no, it doesn't look like this. JB Patrol on YouTube, while this is a massive leap forward, and I'm hoping others will join in, I can't believe that Pioneer DJ stroke AlphaTheta did not include the xdj-az as usable hardware for OneLibrary. It came out after the CDJ-3000, which you can use after all. Yeah, so in our piece, we talk about the hardware that you can use on this. So go look at our news piece. The hardware you can use is the CDJ-3000X that I've got in the studio here, the CDJ-3000 with a firmware update, the xdj-az that I've got over there, the Opus Quad and the Omnis Duo, and that's it. So yeah, if you haven't got those, if you've got, I mean, the RX3 is the big one because it's such a popular unit, but no, sadly, you can't use the RX3. So yep, it's a shame, but hey, there we go. A few of you saying, I feel like there's another price to pay here. No, well, there isn't at the moment. There really isn't. So this does look like it is genuinely something that they're trying to implement without a subscription or anything like that. DJ Mike, OneLibrary is a game changer, no question. However, they need to fix their stems and beat grids in their software to match Algorithms DJ Pro, so Recordbox users don't need to switch or to use OneLibrary, but baby steps. Well, look, here's the interesting thing. this is something that we didn't touch on. I think we should. If you want people to stick with you, Serato, Recordbox, Traktor, etc., 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 one of the ways you can get people to stick with you is making it bloody hard for them to leave you by making your libraries incompatible with other people's. So it's just a ball ache, right? We've often said pick your DJ software first and then pick your hardware, and don't change your DJ software because it's so hard. It's like getting divorced and remarried, you know, jokingly. And so if you want people to stay with you, that's one way, make it bloody hard for them to leave. Or if you suddenly find it's easy for them to leave, and OneLibrary could make it very easy for people to say, you know what, plug in, export, plug in, import, bye-bye. Then you better damn well make your software better. So I think this interoperability, if it rolls out and becomes more of a universal thing, could actually be a real kick up the bum for the DJ software companies to get it right. And one of the companies that might gain most from this is Algorithm, because their DJ Pro is a very, very good piece of software. And their hardware implementation has not been very good until this point. They're getting better, but look, any way that you can play on their, using their software to prepare and playing on existing hardware is a bonus for them. So there's an example, a great software company that might end up gaining from this. So yeah, it's a good point. Thank you for that, Mike. For all those of you, Mike carries on, who don't speak Traktor talk, coming soon means 6 years later. It won't be 6 years later, it really won't. I'm pretty sure it'll be coming literally soon this time. So Mixmaster G is actually here with us. Hello, Mixmaster G. He says that shift on your beat grids and your cues and your loops and so on that can occur due to the massive number of encoders and decoders that are used for MP3s can be as little as 10 milliseconds, and it can be as much as 46. Now, 46 milliseconds, trust me, is really noticeable. I can notice about 20. Anything below that, I just don't notice. But any delays below that are fine. Anything above that, you start to notice. But you have to realize that your DJ software, because it's running on a laptop, assuming you're a laptop DJ, your DJ software has got some delay built in anyway, because your laptop needs a bit of time to process everything it's doing. So there might be 10, 15 milliseconds already. So it doesn't need an awful lot on top for stuff to start getting messy. So thank you for that, Mixmaster G. Always good to have you here, and thank you for talking some of this through with me earlier. This is from DJ Classic Tunes, who's only saying hello because you're what's the word I'm looking for? You're location bombing. You are at Circular Quay at the Sydney Opera House live right now. So lovely to have you here. We watched a film the other night with the Sydney Opera House in it. Me and my kids. Some sci-fi thing. Tomorrow War. Is it called? I can't remember. Anyway, Sydney Opera House, great place. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was something else. I'm going off key here. Maybe we need to just release the pressure a bit, because this is quite geeky, isn't it? What we've been talking about today. So yeah, film with the Sydney Opera House in it. It was about the filming of a film. It was literally a film about the filming of a film. Answers on a postcard. Right, let's move on then. This is from John on YouTube. The biggest news, I believe, is the sync-in libraries between phones and tables and computers. Right, okay, yeah, this is really big because you can use either platform. Yeah, so what you're saying is that the ability to quickly just hop from standalone to laptop and back again is huge here. You know, the only software that can do that is Recordbox, isn't it? Recordbox will let you DJ happily if you just plug in something like this and click it into performance mode, or you want to use something like this and slap it into export mode and export to USB. I agree with you. And to be able to then suddenly do that with Traktor and with DJ Pro is fantastic. I agree with you. That's a huge thing here. So this is from Don. I bet they'll be charging for this in the future. Well, if they follow our 3 steps, get everyone involved, open source it, certify it, and so on. Hopefully not. Maybe not. I really hope not. So many apologies, says Mark on Facebook. I missed the first 10 minutes due to a Pilates class. Look, health first, Mark. This is very exciting, especially if I can now get playlists from DJ for Mac onto my iPad seamlessly. Yes, you can. I don't know if we mentioned this. We might have done. I can't remember. If you know, one of the things that's really annoying about using the DJ Pro software on an iPad or an iPhone is getting your music onto it. It's just horrible. You could export your music onto a USB from your laptop, plug it into your phone or iPad, click import, job done. So that's another good little thing that you can do that's kind of like a side effect of this. So yes, Mark, definitely that is possible. I do not have much time for Pioneer stroke AlphaTheta at all, says Feliem. I don't like their gear. They're way behind on technology. It's so silly. Well, hey, you know, don't use them. But for everyone who wants to, that's what this is about. Serato for the win, says Christopher. Absolutely, they need to get Serato on board. You know, if you're a user of this software, if you're a user of Serato, you're a user of Engine DJ, tell them, email them, get in their forums, get on the Reddits, tell them that you want this, because they'll listen to you. It's a small world, the DJ world. This is from Gunnar, who says, I'm a beginner. This is just more confusion. Yes, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's the first thing that worried me. It's making everything harder. Look, our advice has always been very, very simple when it comes to digital DJing. Keep it as simple as you can. And the book literally presents the most simple way to do this, because DJing should not be complicated. DJing should be immediate. It should be like picking up a guitar and playing an instrument. You know, picking up a guitar and playing it is not easy, but it's not complicated. There's not a whole load of stuff to get your head around before you can even start the learning, right? And so the tech side of it has to be simple. We can see through the woods because we're tech and we've been in this for a long time. This should in the end make everything simpler. It really, really should. But if it's too confusing, just ignore it. Get a couple of hours worth of music onto one computer and one piece of DJ software, plug your controller in and figure out how to play for an hour. That's all you have to do. The rest of it, just cut it out. Doesn't matter. It's all there waiting for you when you need it. But don't think you need to master this stuff. You really don't. Okay, so I'm going to move on to a couple of comments that are from different people, because a lot of you chatting, which is lovely to see. It's lovely to see you all helping each other out. Yes, 10 milliseconds might not sound like very much, but if it cuts off a drum or a vocal transient, you can definitely hear it, even if it doesn't affect your timer. Yes, if a kick drum is meant to go thwack and it goes because that 10 milliseconds cut out the transients that made it powerful, you're quite right, Philip. So it's more than just timing. It's literally, you know, what you hear. Okay, so what else can we pull out here? This collaboration is almost certainly that Algorithm will now have AlphaTheta make a dedicated controller for them. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe indeed. Interesting. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. I think we're going to stop here, people, because we've given you an awful lot to chew on, and you know, we've got a long article there that again goes into a lot of depth about this. So do go and take a look at that article. As I say, currently it is a very, very long article that we've written, and it's mainly words. So if you're a reader, great. But if you're not, we will try and tidy this article up with a few more pictures and links and stuff that makes it a bit more palatable. But we wanted to get that out before this live stream so we could put this video at the top of it after this live stream. I hope you found it useful. Carry on commenting, please, underneath on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're interested in learning how to use any of this stuff, any of this hardware, any of this software, we've got courses and free stuff on plenty of the stuff that you can see around me now. If you just want the video manual for your hardware, because let's face it, who reads the manual? Go to digitaldjtips.com, scroll to the bottom and click on free gear tutorials. And there you will see for some of the gear that is harder to master than other gear, the bigger gear, the more expensive gear, the gear with more features, that we've done a video that will probably help you to master it. These are not short. These are like 2 hour long. And these talk you through everything you need to know to get started on the gear that you see here. So go and grab our free tutorial, and especially if you've ordered that gear and you're waiting for it to turn up, trust me, it's going to save you hours and also get you excited. And if you're ready to learn the software inside out, hey, being a software ninja is one of the hidden secrets of DJing, because if you know your software inside out, you can do stuff other people can't. And that doesn't take no skill. That doesn't take no God-given talent. That just takes, hey, knowing your software inside out. Go take a look at our courses page on the website, where among all the many exciting courses we have courses on software, and you will find those down here. You can drill into the software that you use in order to narrow it down to the courses that work for you. So go take a look. There is a software course for every major platform in here that will help you to master your chosen platform. But meanwhile, for me, Phil, here in the studio, get good, get out there, make the moments. And again, any questions, ask underneath. My team and I will get to you and help you out with all of this. Till next time, bye-bye.